In today's video, we have a very interesting one for you guys. We have some storms along the East Coast, obviously, this evening that we're going to be going over. We're going to be diving into some colder air at times, but really winter is going to be put on a pause, if we're being honest, over the next 10 days, as we're not really able to get any sustainable cold air in place, and snowfall is going to be very hard to come by. So we're going to be walking you through all of this, and maybe over the next coming days, we'll be doing some more long-range stuff to try to give you guys some hope for the long range. But as of now, the next 10 days are not looking pretty for cold and snow lovers. Let's just go over it though. Obviously, again, we have this East Coast storm ongoing, and this is going to become a snowstorm over the next few hours here from the time I'm making this video. We also have a pretty large northwest system here that you can see bringing snowfall to the Rockies and rainfall to the Cascades. As we just take this towards tomorrow afternoon, you can see this low is going to be located offshore of Maine as a 987 millibar low pressure center. Still seeing some back end snowfall here for New England and some of the other regions in the Northeast. And really this time here is going to be pretty much the coldest time frame that we see here in the East over the next 10 days here, because we do have some pretty substantial cold air in place for the day on Monday, December 11th there. A little bit more mild out west, but things are going to change in a hurry. By the time we're reaching Tuesday afternoon, we still have some cold air in place. Looks like a little bit of a positive PNA pattern, as we have some cold air here for the upper Midwest and the Northeast, but it's nothing sustainable and it's nothing long-term either. That's the problem. We're kind of getting these cold patterns, but we're not able to really grab onto it and hold onto it for any sort of substantial amount of time here, really. Let's take this towards Wednesday, and again, look at how quiet things are outside of some activity here in the south central states. We're really looking very dry across the nation. This is a pretty interesting storm here for kind of the four corner states and southern plains here. We have some snowfall here for Colorado, New Mexico, and then some rainfall to the east of there. Look at the jet stream, also very interesting. We have this positive PNA, very strong, and then kind of this marginally cold air in the east. But again, this is not going to be too long term. And this is mostly due in part to this severe positive PNA that we're seeing out west. That stands for Pacific North American Oscillation, by the way. And all that really means is warm air out west. What happens is this kind of dome of warmth heading northward into Canada forces that cold air that would have been over these regions to head over towards the east and eventually down southward, as there's not enough space to really utilize all this cold, so it has to spread out. That's usually how we see that occur there. Let's take this towards Thursday, and really, we've been seeing this for a couple of days now. We watch this kind of cutoff storm system here just sit tight over the four corner states in the southern plains. Maybe even some thunderstorm activity for portions of Texas, snowfall for portions of New Mexico, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, and even the panhandle of Texas there. Very interesting. As we reach this towards Friday, this is going to be December 15th here. We still see this storm system. Look at how flat this jet stream is. Nothing really substantial as far as cold is concerned. We're going to see warmth from coast to coast here for the most part by the time we're reaching around the 15th here. By the time we reach Saturday, still no storms to speak of. And finally, that kind of cutoff storm system that I was talking about by Monday the 18th starts to move in a hurry. It becomes a little bit of a nor'easter down here in the Gulf states, becoming a 993 here. So we can see that this is a pretty strong low pressure system, and this is going to want to move up the coast actually if we get the proper winds in place. But we can see that this does begin to move that activity here at the end of the model run, which is going to be for Wednesday, December 20th. We begin to see some storminess up and down the East Coast finally, but between now and the 20th, we're really not seeing much activity outside of tonight into tomorrow. So after the 10th, 11th is up, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and probably all the way through the 20th are looking stormless for the East for the most part up until this one, according to this model run. It's nearly the same thing out west, but we also have a storm system moving onshore finally around the 20th here as well, bringing some snowfall to the Sierra Nevadas and Cascades. We'll have to see how that eventually develops if that does take place. Total precipitation, here we do get some precipitation here at the tail end for the Northwest. We are having some ongoing here for the east, so we're going to deduct about half of that for what's upcoming outside of that storm. But we do see this storm sit tight eventually try to move up the coast here at the very end of the model run. So we do end up with some above average activity here along the Gulf and East Coast, and then along the Northwest Coast as well. Total snowfall here. We are seeing some pretty high amounts here, especially in the southern Rockies and southern plains there. That is due to that storm that just sits tight. And then we do get some pretty high amounts in the Northeast tonight into tomorrow morning. But outside of those two very localized areas, very quiet compared to normal. I mean, the Rockies are below normal. The Cascades, the Sierra Nevadas are below normal. Definitely the Appalachian Mountain Range is below normal. The Great Lakes are below normal. The Northern Plains, the Upper Midwest, the Pacific Northwest as well. So pretty much everywhere outside of these two circles is looking at below normal snowfall substantially. Now, this is really due to this temperature pattern and lack of activity. When those two things combine, you know, even really people that don't know much about weather can tell you that that's not going to lead towards much in the way of snowfall. We see the cold air move in behind this storm system, like I mentioned, so we can see that right here. It's pretty marginal. We do see some pretty substantial cold temperatures in the green areas there, but those are going to be pretty isolated to the southeast pretty exclusively. Outside of there, we don't really have much cold, and it really weakens pretty quickly. We do get kind of a secondary cold front that moves through for the 14th into the 15th. Again, pretty substantial along the eastern seaboard, but I would say that with how small the area is experiencing this, I wouldn't really call it a substantial cool down overall. It's just substantially cool for some very localized areas. And then things just get warmer and warmer here. Look at this torch we have going on across the United States. Really from the west coast to the east coast, again, coast to coast warmth is looking likely over the next 10 days. Now, all of us cold and snow lovers should be terrified and should certainly be crossing our fingers that this is not going to last long, because this is probably giving you reminiscent thoughts of the past, I don't even know at this point, 8 winters in a row. I don't know how long it's been, but every single winter it seems like the fall is going pretty promising, and then we get into December and then it's like, boom, flip is switched. All of a sudden, no cold, no snow. Let's hope this ends. I certainly want some activity. I think it'll be interesting to track and watch for, and I hope I see snow for sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe. We're going to track this with you guys and see if this will come to an end or not. We're going to be tracking it daily, of course, so be sure to subscribe. Also, hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.